Electric Farms. We're back with another episode of UMRV, Upper Mississippi River Valley, and we've been busy off camera. We finished up those two fieldwork tasks that we were talking about for a while, and I've been playing around with auto drive here a bit off camera. I know a lot of times I spend a lot of time goofing around in the episode with this, and it can be a little bit frustrating when things don't work. And so I did a lot of experimentation, and we've now got an auto drive course that's going to help us move our slurry out of the pits and into the BGA. It's something we've been talking about for quite a few episodes. However, rather than force y'all to tag along for the pain and agony of figuring out how I wanted to do this, we did a lot of that while we were waiting for the tillage to get done and the spreading to get done in our other fields. I've also moved the time forward here into November, and I didn't capture it, but we will be getting more money now for the cows. We got just a little bit. We sold the baby cows automatically for about $50,000, and then we started seeing a bit more coming in here for the milk, but not a lot the first day. I'm going to actually move this up to the second point. Unfortunately, it looks like a second point for slurry is going to catch the first point. That's not quite what we intended, but that's okay. It'll all work out in the end. However, we did see an increase in milk, but not as much as I was expecting, and I think that's because we didn't get the full growth of the month done. We only got the first 6 hours done because we only had those cows from midnight till 6 a.m. when the milk sells automatically on that first day. So this is going to be our first full day of milk here. I've had to sell off all of our digestate as well. If we take a quick look at the thing here, we're just pumping a ton of slurry through this BGA. I did speed up how fast it makes digestate. I doubled it, so that's been working pretty good. And then we just sold off all the digestate that we've been making for a healthy profit here. And as you can see, just moving forward into November here, which is 4 days in game, we burned through a significant amount of that TMR and silage that we built up here. So my confidence level, once again, we're on that pendulum swing of knowing what's going on. Confidence level a little bit lower now that we've seen that go through, that we've actually got enough materials here to last, but we're going to give it a shot. But I did want to just check in here in November before we start skipping days forward a lot and see how we're doing. I've got the new auto drive course set up here, and I'm going to let this finish filling up, and then we'll follow it through the rest of its path just so y'all can see how we've got that running. But while that truck fills up, I've gone ahead and got the semi set up here. We had this hooked up to the Bale trailer, which had a few bales on it. We went ahead and unloaded those over the course of October here into the silo. So we did have a nearly full trailer of bales going here. And now I'm going to go ahead and get this silage dumped in here as well, because I'd love to get this trailer out of our BGA area. It's just been sitting there for the longest time. And I figure now that we've got the capacity, I can go ahead and get this all emptied out. It's been a ton of episodes, but really only a month or two that all this has been sitting in there, I think. I've got two different tractors on feed wagons here. If I rotate my camera a little bit, you can see I've got one in that barn waiting to empty out. It's been working really well, having the two of them on auto drive, continually feeding. Essentially, I usually sleep the night through and then wait for a few minutes and let the workers catch up on feed. So a lot of times what I've been doing as I skip multiple days here is I will sleep for a day, and then I will run the clock fast for a day, and it's worked out pretty well to keep up with things. The workers can usually catch up and get the animal pens full again. And I'm just going to leave this here. I don't actually need the semi for anything else right now, so we're going to just call that good. And the other job that we're going to need to do is I'm going to need to bring some bales up at some point to continue to keep that harvester full. However, before we do that, I do want to follow this semi through on his course, and it looks like he's just getting full. Perfect timing on our part. So as you can see, and we'll turn the course back on just to make it extra visible, but we've hooked right into our existing auto drive course that we had going around the edge of the farm here. Part of me doesn't like that this drives through our grass field, but you know what? It's the only a good path around the farm here, and I didn't want to have to deal with backing up or anything crazy, so we're going to leverage this. And for moving the bales into the harvester there, I think I am going to switch things out, and we're going to get, instead of the semi-trailer, which doesn't work so well with dumping the bales into the harvester, we're going to switch back to using the gooseneck trailer and the pickup that we've had sitting here. I think that's going to work a lot better for us. And as you can see, the semi course now just circles around right in front of the BGA here, and we've already got our other semi parked in here and waiting to unload. So this driver should just sit here and wait his turn. But we can hop in here at 93%, not really enough to bother with, but I'm going to go ahead and send this guy on his way, and he should just circle around the backside of these harvesters and right on into the yard again, completing our course. I've been pretty happy with how this is working, and we'll let those guys continue to do their job here. Now, I can't remember which barn we've got these on right now. So if I just hop in here to the menu, it looks like barn B is full. This is barn A, and then barn C we're in right now. So we're making a huge dent on the slurry, being able to keep these two trucks running. So the next one I need is to get some out of barn A there, which is the one that I didn't let it run on. I think what I'm going to do is just switch this out to run, and I'm going to go ahead and send him on his way. Keep these things running every once in a while. I rotate them between the different barn slots just to make sure we're getting everything done. I'm going to shut this door. Maybe it'll help a little bit with our frame rates if we're not looking at all the equipment all the time. I don't know. And with all of those jobs now automated for the most part, it's really making our life easier. We don't have to do nearly as much. I do want to get the trailer hooked up here though and pick up some bales. So we're going to do that next. I'm going to dump this off right here. No reason to really take it anywhere. It's been fairly out of the way here, and it looks like our semi that only had 7% empty capacity is already full and gonna go wait in line, which is fine by me. I'm gonna get some bale. I'm gonna get a load of bales, and then we'll move the clock forward here and we'll check on how much money we're making in November, now that we've got two barns producing milk, which is really exciting. Just for reference, that's going to be down here at barn C, I believe this is producing milk. You can see we've already got almost 55,000 liters. And barn B here, which is later in the reproduction cycle, and the way the enhanced animal mod works is you generate more milk early on, right after birth, than you do later on. And so there's a discrepancy between these two, but I really like that they're offset from each other a little bit. It should provide some nice even numbers rather than having it be so much up and down. If I've got one in the height and one in the low part of this, then we're going to end up seeing a more even profit margin moving forward. Getting a little bit of stuttering here. I'm not sure if that's because I've got so many auto drive workers or what's going on. But we're going to come right in here and, man, how many bales does this thing hold? I don't even remember. Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out. We're going to go ahead and spawn bales. I'm going to spawn a full 48 just because I can. And I know we don't have 48 worth of capacity on this trailer, but I thought it'd be easier to have too many and load them up here than the other way around. So I'm going to move this into the operating position. And there we go, 30 bales on this trailer, so we know for the future it's going to work out great. And I do not miss the rocking back and forth on this truck when the trailer's full. It's not super capable of handling these full loads in this trailer. That's why we switched to the semi in the first place. However, for our quick trips around the yard here, I think it's going to be easier because the trailer is a lot shorter, and it's going to work out a lot better for dropping them in the zone here. Now I'm hoping that this trailer is a little bit shorter, and what I can do is just drive through this with the bales on here, but we're going to try it out. We're going to figure it out here. So all I should have to do is push Y twice to dump the bales down onto the trailer, which they clearly are right now, but it doesn't appear that they're getting sucked into this bale point at all. You know, I really should have by now just gone ahead and fixed this point. It probably would save us a lot of issues, but I'm gonna pick up the bales and we're gonna drive back around here. The nice thing and why I switched to using this trailer, I'm hoping that that one bale falls off, there we go, is that I can use the trailer's auto load feature, to move the bales around in the zone. Now we're relearning how to drive this trailer, which is a little bit of a struggle, but if I just bring these bales over here in a pile like so, drop them off, they will get eaten up by the trigger, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I can go ahead and just pick them up with the operating position again, and then put them back into transport position, and without having to do really anything, I can just move them all around like this, and it's a lot easier than having to jump in and out and do all of that stuff by hand. So that's what we're gonna do. There we go. And that load of bales has filled our hay more or less back up here. And I've got plenty of silage thanks to dumping that trailer full of silage in here. I will have to bring some silage over from the other harvest stores at some point though. And so that's one of the things I should have just sent that semi over there for. We don't have an auto drive course set up for that, but I don't expect to need to do it often enough that I'm going to need an auto drive course to run the silage around. I think that's a job we can just do ourselves. But with the hay all sorted out here, I'm going to go ahead and just park this back over here. We'll pick up the rest of these bales that I've got sitting out here, and then we're going to move that clock forward as I promised. And with all that taken care of, I've headed back up here to the BGA. We're ready to move the time forward. I just sent the partially emptied semi on its way just because we do have quite a bit of slurry in this particular pen, and I know if I move the clock forward it might get full, so I'm just kind of keeping my eye on everything here. The feed levels are awesome, so I'm not too worried about that. Instead of sleeping though, I'm gonna just run the clock up here at about 500%. I think that should work out pretty well for us. And that way, these trucks are going to be doing their thing as we go, and we're not jumping too far ahead. We can watch the slurry levels coming through here. Everything looks great, and I'll be able to see the prices come through on the map here for what we spend at the end of the day, because I haven't looked at that in a little while, and I'm kind of curious. And then at 6 a.m. we'll be able to see how much money we're going to make from getting the milk sold. I can't wait. And here we come, midnight. Not bad. We got a tiny bit of property maintenance and production costs. Those are for running the harvest stores, I think, have a little bit of a production cost. And then if we just keep cranking here, we should be able to see our prices for the milk. Looks like we've just dumped a bunch more slurry in the pit there. I love it. Just checking here. We're starting to get full, but no big deal. And the TMR is full on this side, but we've got plenty of room for digestate. And here it comes, the 6 o'clock hour. We made $278,000 in milk. I love it. That's awesome. We're doing great. So I've got $2.5 million to play with. So I'm going to go ahead and slow the clock back down here a little bit and make sure that we give our feeders a chance to catch up with feeding on these barns. Because as you can see, we use up a little bit of feed, not a lot, but a chunk of feed on these barns every night. And I'm mostly worried about just making sure that I got a chance to stay ahead of all of the slurry that we're working our way through. I do still have to manually run the one barn when we need to get slurry out of that. So every once in a while, we just grab the semi, and I know it's not quite empty yet, but if I move this guy out of the way, the other one will keep running on the auto drive course, and I'll just run this guy right over, and we'll start getting him filled up in the barn C there, the small barn. That's the one that I haven't bothered with an auto drive course for just yet. And as you can see, I still haven't had a chance to figure out what's wrong with the wheels on this semi. I suppose I could swap them out. However, I'm kind of at a point where I like everything else about the mod. I know it looks just ridiculous, but if I remember to repair it ahead of the episode, it doesn't tend to do this as much. I've got to keep it cleaned and repaired, and then that doesn't happen. So I've been continuing to play around with that a little bit. And here we go. We've got this slurry filling up. We might as well, it's raining, but we might as well keep the jobs going. I'm going to check in on our other harvest stores here. You can see the silage is full in both of these, so we're not continuing to process that chaff. So what I want to do is pull out a bunch of the silage from both of these and move it into the main farm harvest store, which is up here. You can see it's starting to run low. It's not out, but it is starting to use that up. And this will allow us to kind of keep everything moving. I'd love to get all of the chaff and silage out of these harvest stores as we can. I'm not in a huge hurry, but it's nice to keep the main farm harvest store all filled up there. And so I'm going to just keep moving this stuff forward now that we've seen how much money we can make in a day with 2 of our barns active. Hopefully, we'll be able to see the third barn come into action here in not too long. It's already at reproduction age for the first round here, so I can't remember. I think it's I can't remember now that I'm saying it out loud. I don't know how many months it's going to take for them to get through. It looks like this is 28 months when we gave birth the first time, so this has got another 10 months to go before we're going to see it become completely productive. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I'm going to move all this material here a bit off camera. There's not a whole lot interesting going on, and I'll keep this time moving, and we'll check back in as we make some more progress. So I lied. I think I am going to automate this path for running the silage out of these bins. I started to handle this myself, and I realized that there's a lot of silage in there, a lot more than I thought. And this is going to be a lot easier if I just record a path. And I'm not exactly coming in here at the most opportune of angles. However, I think I should be able to just get it lined up here. And even if I have to maybe eventually do a little bit of this myself, I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to say, I don't even know what I'm going to call this, new harvest store fill. And then I've got the rest of the course all set up here more or less. So I'm just going to run this right back over here. And then we'll turn it back around. And I should be able to bring myself right into this setup like so. And then if we do this, it's where'd it go? New harvest store fill. I'm looking for this one. To harvest store dump, and we're running silage like so. So now I can hit forward, and I'm going to have it start at the dump because that's where I'm at in the course right now, and I want to see if this is going to work out for us. We've been doing a lot of dealing with the small jobs that have been hassles on the farm here in this episode, trying to get things running more smoothly. I think it's going to pay off in the big picture because we're only on the 2nd of November, and I've got to move up until like March, I think, before we have anything else to do on the farm. And that's a lot of moving the time forward. And right now, it's a lot of manual tasks for us to be handling. So I'm going to be here for a while, folks, and I figured I'd share at least a little bit of the pain or a little bit of the process I'm using to minimize the pain with everyone. This seems to be working out pretty well, though. It's coming right through into the zone as I would have expected, and then we should be able to continue on and start going to get the fill. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it should take us out the front entrance, or, oh no, it's going to take us around the harvest store. Can I turn the lights on? I can't turn the lights on when auto drive's driving. I do apologize. It's going to get dark here for a moment, but hopefully this is going to work out. A little bit of a squiggly path there to get back on the main road, but I should immediately just turn right into this course that we made, which I think is going to work out for us. I did have it come up onto the other straightish course there a little bit to help us with this corner. Otherwise, the trailer's going to be too far behind us, I think. So it's a tight curve. The truck's going to drive real slow while it's doing this, which I feel like is a good thing. Oh, I was hoping it was going to avoid the crash. Well, we're going to have to smooth this out just a little bit. And maybe what we'll do is I'll bring this all in over here a bit. And instead of connecting down here, I'll have this connect right there. And maybe that'll be a smoother curve. I do want to try it out again, though. So rather than just turn right into that, we're going to get our lights on, because I feel like once I turn the lights on, they'll stay on with auto drive. And I'm going to swing right back around here and see if we can get this thing going on that course and see what happens. I hate running things in the dark, but it is one of those situations where I can't jump the time forward to daytime just yet, because if I do, oh, and it turned the lights off. That's rather annoying. I would have thought auto drive would have had the lights on for us. If I skip ahead, though, I think that we're going to have a slurry problem here. All right, here we are. A moment of truth. Is this guy going to make the turn now that I've re-architected this a bit? No, he is not. All right. Well, rather than force y'all to sit here with me multiple times on this, I am going to just adjust this a bit. I'm going to start him back off, and I'll keep playing with this, and hopefully I can get things working. Oh, it is going to catch. I didn't expect it to catch that first one all the way back here, but it is what it is. Auto drive can be finicky sometimes when you've got that. That's all right. We're going to let this guy go. I'm going to keep playing with this. We'll keep moving the time forward, and I'll catch up with y'all in just a little while. All right, folks. I have officially moved our clock forward here into January, and as you can see, we're pretty well snowed in. The automation was working great until the snow piles started forming, and the semis can sort of kind of power through. But as you can see, our old school tractors here are just a little bit underpowered for this snow. I can't even get the full feed wagons up over the snowdrift here anymore. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but it's going to involve some snow removal. because while we've been moving time forward, I didn't realize we were getting stuck, and we're starting to run not dangerously low. We've only got one more day of food, a little over a day of food left in this barn. The rest of the barns are starting to take a hit here. So I think this is going to be a great place to wrap up today's episode. And next episode, we're going to figure out how to dig these guys out of the snow, get some snow removal equipment on the farm here, and keep things moving. We did make it up to $5.7 million, though, which is awesome. We should be sitting pretty good by the time we get into spring. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. A little bit something different. We've got a lot of stuff going on the farm here, though, and lots of side jobs that just need to be taken care of sometimes. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. That's all for today. Kedrick out.